Hey there. Have I told you how good you look? Well, you look fine. Hi, I'm Eric Hansen. Today I'm going to be talking about all things fashion on the trail. And actually not really fashion, but the clothing that is the best for backpacking. Before we get into the video, please like and subscribe to our channel. We are doing our best to bring you awesome content that is educational and inspirational and helping you get outside and having more fun doing it. Without further ado, let's talk about the best clothes for backpacking. So I have assembled a bunch of my favorite pieces of gear. It is a head to toe, so to speak, of all the things that you might need for the trail. So let's start with, I've got some of the fun things that I love talking about up here close to me, but let's talk about base layers and what's going to be closest to your skin first. So with that, let's start at my favorite topic, underwear. So Ex Officio makes an awesome travel piece of clothing, which is awesome for backpacking. It's their antimicrobial, 20 countries, 1 week, or whatever their slogan is. That is advertising good underwear. These are awesome. Now, there's some other excellent brands out there, such as Saks and other companies that make very suggestive names that I appreciate and think are hilarious. But Ex Officio is one of them. And the main thing is that it's a quick dry material and it is antimicrobial. So that is awesome because if you are backpacking for 3, 4, 5 days at a time and you may forget to change your underwear, well, hey, they've got you covered. And you won't be too terribly stinky. You won't have those microbes doing dangerous things down below. And hopefully you'll be all right. But also, come on, change your clothing, change your underwear once in a while. Another reason why I like these is this pair of underwear is that for, say, a long backpacking trip, they're easy to wash, they're easy to clean. You can just either dunk them in a creek and they will dry quickly, or stick them in a Ziploc bag with a little bit of Dr. Bronner soap, wash them up, and you can kind of alternate between 2 pairs of underwear pretty much through your whole backpacking trip. So pretty great way to do it. So having a good pair of non-cotton, antimicrobial, quick-drying underwear is money, and you will be thanking yourself later for the small investment that it requires. Okay, so that was underwear. Now let's talk about socks here. Having a good pair of socks is truly a wonderful thing. I actually wear hiking socks pretty much in my everyday life just because they're so dang comfortable. But the main thing is don't wear cotton socks. Cotton is the death of many a backpacker or the creator of many a blister. Cotton has a tendency to draw moisture towards your skin. So if every time you're sweating or if you get any rain or creek crossing moisture in your boot, that's going to hold it against your skin. And that's going to make your foot more likely to be susceptible to blisters and just be uncomfortable. They don't dry out very quickly. And wool or synthetic socks are awesome for that. They dry quickly. They're just more comfortable. They provide a little bit of extra cushion in your boot, and that is a really good thing to have. So also, top tip is to have an extra pair of socks that is only for sleeping, something that you get sweaty in on the trail, and then you change out of those when it's time to go to bed and sleep in your sleeping bag. Having clean socks is awesome. It'll help you feel better, and it'll help your feet stay warmer over the night. So the next item that is going to be against your skin all day is your shirt or your base layer. And I love having a good t-shirt that is a quick drying t-shirt. Again, no cotton t-shirts. As much as I love a good comfortable cotton t-shirt, bring something that is synthetic or quick drying. You will sweat a lot. You'd be surprised at how much you sweat. And just having that ability to dry quickly and not have that moisture stay against your body is very important. So have that. You can clean these easily. You can clean these in a river very quickly, and they're just also quite comfortable. So I totally recommend those. And then another more long sleeve, kind of slightly thicker base layer. I have this shirt from Ex Officio. This is an awesome base layer for a couple of reasons. Not only is it a great shirt for warmth, but it is also sun protection. So if I want to have long sleeves, even if it's hot out, it's nice to wear long sleeves to cover your skin from sun protection. And then also they do a cool thing with bugs away. It's like some sort of chemical technology that they infuse their clothing with. that repels bugs. And so if you're really worried about no-see-ums or mosquitoes or things like that, having a base layer like this is really helpful. So that's another base layer shirt that I like to have, but something that's a little bit, it's a weight in between a t-shirt and more like a jacket. So it's a good kind of mid layer with a little bit of extra warmth. Now again, for base layers, I like to backpack, especially if I'm in colder climates, is to backpack not necessarily while I'm hiking, but to have a good pair of long johns with me. These are very important. I especially like changing into them. If the temperature is going to be dipping below freezing, it's a wonderful thing to change into once I'm off the trail. Very rarely do I actually hike in base layers or long johns, just because they're too warm and I'll just sweat too much. But when you stop moving and you're just hanging around camp, these are great to wear in your sleeping bag. They're very comfortable and they'll just help you stay warm and comfortable at camp. So that is definitely something I like having, but if I'm obviously going to be in a super warm climate, probably not necessary, but it's good to know about that if you're camping in some chilly temperatures. Okay, let's again move on to what's going to go above your base layer, your mid layer, and that's going to be your jacket. And I really am a big proponent of down. I love a good down jacket. I think it's the most comfortable thing to wear. I wear them all the time. Even if it's not super cold, it's very comfortable. And if it is quite cold, it's extremely comfortable and it will keep you warm. So one of the main things about down is that it has a really high warmth to weight ratio. This jacket is super light. It weighs almost nothing. It can compact to a really small space. It's great for throwing into your backpack and filling around other heavier things, and is a great space filler. Because it weighs almost nothing and it will keep you warm, it basically is like the best combination you could ask for when it comes to backpacking. Sometimes if I'm going to be in a really wet environment, instead of a down jacket, I will bring a synthetic jacket. And this is an awesome synthetic jacket that I have thoroughly enjoyed for a long time. And synthetic jackets, or just synthetic fabrics in general, are better at handling moisture. So if you are going to be in a wet environment, I would suggest probably bringing something of the synthetic blend that you can use as a nice warm jacket to keep you warm. I love jackets. I have like a million of them, so I know that I'm on the lucky end of that. This is basically like my little REI clothing store here. But yes, so if you have the ability to have different options, that's a great thing to have. And then another critical piece of gear is your rain jacket. And this is actually kind of a safety piece. Well, not kind of, it is a safety piece of gear. It's very important to have a good rain jacket, and not only if it's going to be rainy, which is kind of the intuitive option, but it's a great thing to wear if it's windy too. Sometimes if it's just windy out, you can't get warm, that wind is just biting through your clothes, and being able to put on a hard shell will help keep you warm and stay safe. So it's definitely a safety piece of gear, even if it's summertime in Arizona. Fun fact, more people get hypothermia while being outdoors in the summertime than in the wintertime, and that is because people are unprepared. They're not prepared for what the weather's conditions is going to be like, and so if the weather changes and you get a big storm, then you are likely to get hypothermia, or at least susceptible to hypothermia, and a rain jacket will go a long way to keep you dry and keeping you warm. So always bring that. The one thing that I don't have shown here is a good pair of rain pants or hiking pants that are waterproof. I definitely advocate for bringing those, especially if you think that there's going to be a likelihood of rain. They can go a long way in keeping you dry. However, if there's just a light amount of rain or a medium amount of rain, just having a good pair of technical pants is awesome. Yesterday I was hiking in a ton of rain and I just had a pair of these kind of pants. These are like a non-cotton blend. I don't know what all the fabric materials actually are. They are water repellent, so as rain falls onto them, they kind of tend to bead up and then just repel right off. And then if they do really start to get saturated, they're also very light and they will dry very quickly. So it just doesn't have a lot of material to hold on to a lot of moisture, so they dry quite quickly. So a good pair of long pants is awesome to have, pretty much a must. I live here in the desert where people do crazy things, and sometimes people hate wearing pants, and that's okay, that's up to them, but I definitely, even in Arizona, even the desert, I definitely love having a good pair of pants. There's a couple more pieces of things that I like to take backpacking with for clothing. One is a good pair of gloves that is just a lightweight pair of gloves that you can just throw on if you're starting to feel chilly. A good pair of gloves goes a long way in keeping you warm and comfortable if the temperatures are really dropping. They're lightweight, they take up almost no space, so they're a nice thing to have. And then another item is a buff or some sort of thing to slide over your neck and kind of wear around this area. Just having some amount of fabric just slides over your head and then can rest here quite nicely. It's very comfortable. It keeps you warm. You can use these to make beanies. You can use them to just go around your ears. They're very diverse and they can help you stay warm, and they will keep bugs off of you and the sun off of you if you need that. Another thing I definitely recommend taking for the backpacking is kind of obvious, but a good hat to wear. I just like backpacking in a ball cap, but I think the important thing is really just thinking about sun protection. Just having the ability to shield your eyes, give yourself a little bit of a break, and just in general, a lot of our clothing that we talk about with backpacking has to do with moisture and warmth management. And that's great. That is a big concern for backpacking. But a sometimes overlooked element of the backpacking is just how much time you actually spend outside. So having the ability to protect your face from sun, give yourself a break there, wear a ball cap, wear a kind of wide-brimmed hat, especially if you're doing a really extended trip or in a zone with a lot of sunshine where there's not a lot of trees or shade, like Arizona. That's important. So I definitely also, within that note, I really like backpacking with shirts that allow me to cover my arms as well. So the sun protection is sometimes a forgotten element of staying safe in the outdoors. And definitely, if you are going to be spending a lot of time on the trail, make sure that you have the ability to protect your skin. And then last but not least, I just like having a good beanie, something usually on the more lightweight end. So something that's kind of thin that I can hike in and sweat through. These are nice to have. But then if I'm just sitting around the campfire and the temperature is starting to drop, being able to cover my extremities, having my gloves, having my hat or my toque or my beanie for those Canadian people out there, it's awesome to have. Okay, that's my clothing that I definitely advocate for. Again, do not bring any cotton with you. Cotton is not any good. Another thing that I don't recommend would be a hoodie, like a cotton sweatshirt. I know it's warm and comfortable, but they're super bulky. If they ever get wet, they will never dry. They are just not good on the warmth to weight ratio. They hold moisture. They're just not efficient. Don't bring your hoodie sweatshirt, okay? Another thing that I see people backpacking in a lot is like a 3-in-1 kind of ski jacket style jacket. And while I totally advocate for just backpacking in the gear you have, it's also a very heavy, bulky item, and it doesn't pack down very well. It has a tendency to fill your whole backpack up when you're not using it. So I don't really recommend hiking in those kind of like big burly ski jackets. And then denim, kind of your typical jeans material. They're not very good. They're heavy. They take up a lot of space if you decide to not wear those and change into a different pair of shorts. They hold on to moisture for a really long time, and they're just not very good for, I love a good pair of jeans, but they're just not very good for backpacking. Okay, that is it. That is my fashion tips for you. You will all now dress better. You already look amazing, but you're only going to step it up a notch from here. So that's it. I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. And we appreciate you having around. I hope you're learning a ton. Share this video with your friends. And yeah, leave a comment below if you have another idea of a thing or a piece of garment or clothing that you love or swear by, or if you think that I pointed something out that you don't like. Well, let me know. Give me some feedback. I want to hear about it. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Eric Hansen. This is Backpacking TV. I'll see you later.